Hey lovelies, it's Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, where we carry the largest selection of wood flowers in the United States. Let's jump into this. Pumpkins, baking soda, chicken wire. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. I'm sure you've seen this tutorial a million bajillion times, but it is just so cool. And this year in particular, I found like quite a few different hacks and tips on how to make pumpkins look even more terracotta vibe, like earthy. This pumpkin here is freaking like blaze orange. Like I could put it on my head and I would be set for deer hunting season. If you know, you know, if you're from the Midwest. It's too orange, all right? It hurts my eyes. So we are going to tone it down. We're going to make it look so high end. And then, there is just so many different ways. As far as there's not that many different ways that you can decorate a pumpkin with wood flowers. But I'm gonna try something popped in my head just before I hit the record button. And I don't know if it's gonna work, but I think it's gonna be helpful. So first, to keep the suspense going, let's paint this lovely blaze orange pumpkin, and then we will discuss how we're going to up-level this and hope that it isn't a bloody disaster. All right, let's do this. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to paint this blaze orange pumpkin with another orange color that's a little bit less hurting on my retinas. I am going to be using, now this is already, I think this already has some texture in it, but it's not enough for me. So this is the Folk Art makes this terracotta type paint. It's a lot thicker than acrylic paint, but we're gonna make it even more like gritty. And this color is Clay Pot. I really like this particular orange for this. You can also just mix in a whole bunch of different craft acrylic paint and do this. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's thick. And the last time I used this, I couldn't 100% tell if it went bad or not. It kind of had a distinct weird smell, almost like hair dye, but like not a good hair dye smell. Also, if you know, you know, my hair dye does not smell gross. Mine smells like sweet fruit or something, but it almost, or like perm solution, you know, that, like, it was weird. But I still used it because I don't really know what makes this paint terracotta paint. So, and I ordered it online and it came to me, so I don't know if it went like bad in the shipping, I don't know. So you don't get, I mean, it's thick, so there's not nearly as much when you fill in a bowl, like if you did craft acrylic paint, but it should be enough, fingers crossed, for that entire pumpkin. So that's in there. Now you measure with your heart on this one, you guys. Baking soda, I get it from the dollar store, it's $1.25. I load her up, but you don't fill the whole box because you're gonna need this at a later date. Not a later date, in like 15 minutes. So mix that up. Nice and chalky looking, chunky. It's a little chunky, but like the best chunky possible. Chunky. All right. Do I protect the surface? I've already ruined it. You know what, maybe we will. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab something. Maybe I'm like turning a new leaf and I'm actually gonna protect my surface. Who knows, we'll see. Okay. And then you're just gonna paint it all on. I'm just gonna do one coat, I believe from previous experience, but that's all I'm gonna need. Fingers crossed, hopefully. I have a very good feeling I will be doing a lot of this again next year with different pieces, but I think I will mix my own colors next time or find just a craft acrylic paint. I don't think it's necessary to use the terracotta style. Oh, yep, there's that whiff of that. It must be the paint. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just a really strong paint. I can't describe it, but it gets in your nostrils and it feels like something just died. Oh, man. I think all of us girlies from the late 80s, early 90s remember that perm smell. Lord knows I do. I'm getting flashbacks. Oh, I failed to mention pumpkin, blaze orange pumpkin. I found at Party City, fairly good price. I think it was $12.99 for the pumpkin. And it is one of those hollowed out carvable pumpkins. So it's like a really thick foam. Oh, I saved my surface, but not my hands. How do I get paint on my hands when I'm using a paintbrush? My seam line on my pumpkin, I've never had this happen. I might have a faulty pumpkin. Do you guys see that? That's not supposed to happen. We're gonna use that to our advantage in a minute though. It's gonna be fine. I hope. Oh no. I'm not gonna go all the way to the middle because I don't want to, but you could. It doesn't hurt to paint it all the way, but I don't think that it's necessary as long as you get where it disappears into where it's sitting on the table or whatever. Okay, so the paint will kind of dry quickly, so you want to do this all in one shot and we're not letting it fully dry though. We're gonna do something else to it while it's still wet, okay? So, and it's more focused on the kind of top of the pumpkin. So once you're done with the bottom, I am gonna add a little bit more paint to this, just so I have some like fresh paint. A little bit of wetness, that's gross. So while it's still wet, bring back your baking soda. Make another mess. Sprinkle it. I like to sprinkle from the top. I'm gonna shake her a little bit. And then we're gonna get our hands dirty, guys. Truthfully now, I don't know if it's the baking soda or it's the paint that is creating that smell, because now I have baking soda, like I can taste it in my mouth. Maybe it's the baking soda. And now I'm gonna take some of the leftovers, get it on my hands. You can also, I've seen flour be used. I just figured I already have the baking soda for the paint. Might as well just use it for this. And I'm rubbing it down. The excess comes off. What remains is what's left sticking to the paint. I don't seal mine, but you could if you wanted to. And I do need a little bit more baking soda. And I'm kind of just pushing it into the ridges of my pumpkin, is really where I'm focusing. That kind of chalky, white kind of, I don't know why it's like that. Like, why does terracotta do that? I don't know. I'm sure science. I'm sure. If you don't like the feeling of like paint and the grit of the baking soda and stuff on your hands, definitely wear gloves, but it washes off really easily. If it's not a textural thing for you, I promise it washes off real easy. Okay. Now I'm not loving, I shouldn't have probably dumped so much so heavily on the top. So I'm going to use my talons to scrape that off a little bit more. Dig it out. Okay. We're gonna let this dry, and then part 2 shall commence. The split is still there. So I'm gonna try to use that to our advantage. And now what we're gonna do is, it's so weird to me. I want to create a little smaller like opening for flowers to go into. So I'm gonna carve this out as best I can. This actually does go down pretty far, so we've got to go all the way in there. That doesn't look vulgar in any way. It's fine, we're fine. Oh my gosh. Shield your eyes, folks, shield your eyes. I'm debating if I want to make it a little bit bigger, but I also just want to move on so I don't have to look at this anymore. Okay, hold on. I am gonna make this a little bit bigger. I will be right back. I don't feel like we all need to watch this. We'll be right back. And then we're gonna keep working on that. No, lovely. Sorry about that a minute ago, but we now have chicken wire in there as well. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous right now. I'm hoping this looks the way I want, but I don't really know what I want. So what I have done though is I have grabbed some greenery. I'm gonna stick with, and this may change as we get further into it, but for right now, I'm just gonna use seeded eucalyptus. Little bits of it come off from a full stem. I'm gonna try that. Then I also have these lovely bark and thistled. So this is a sunflower, and we've got a whole bunch of other, I was gonna say this is Shasta, but I don't know that this is Shasta. I will get you all of the names for the different bark flowers. Here's Artie. We've got just a range of different bark flowers that are either all bark or a two-toned where there's bark in the middle and beautiful ones on the outside, or there's, is that the same as this one? Yep. So Cleo, named after one of my past puppies. And these are string of pearls. So these are gonna come in, it's like a whole bunch of them all wrapped up. We're gonna cut these down to work with as well. And I think that's it. I think we're gonna go pretty simplistic on this one. Once again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna love this or want to just kick it to the curb afterwards. We'll find out. So let's get into it. At first, all this stuff is gonna kind of move and groove, but the more stuff you add to it, the more it all starts to center around each other and kind of sit in place. So it's okay if it kind of moves around for right now. And that's why we're using that chicken wire, is creating our structure for this. Our mechanics, if you will. Sure how I feel about this. Oh, you win some, you lose some, right? I might have lost one. We're just gonna trust the process. Wow, that was an adventure. Here is the pumpkin. It looks so much better now with actual stuff in it and not just the chicken wire, if I do say so myself. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna go put it on my lovely dining room table. I do this whole vignette on a buffet right by our dining room table, and I'm going for more neutral tones for this fall season. Creams and this more like terracotta kind of coloring, more bark flowers than I think I've ever used before, and a lot more minimal in the greenery section of stuff, which is also unusual for me. So we'll see how it all pulls together. I think at some point, depending on the different projects that we make for the next couple of weeks, I will do a whole like put it all together, and then we can make a real actual decision if it worked or not. So hopefully that's something you guys might be interested in seeing as far as like a full seasonal vignette, how I would set that all up. So jury's still out on this one. Once we see it with everything else that I've been pulling together, we'll see how we feel about this. Deal? Awesome. All right, you guys, if you're loving these videos, even the ones that make you go, what is she doing? Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and so that you're notified every time a video goes up, ring that bell, will you? It helps a lot. Also, if you love this project or you hated it, it's all right. Feedback is feedback, and you can leave a comment because that helps our channel no matter what. So leave a comment, thumbs it up. I don't think you can dislike things anymore, but if you do, go for it. It won't hurt my feelings because I'm not 100% sure yet how I feel about this. The jury's still out, like I said. Down below, I will link all of the different products that we're using in this one, including the names of those bark flowers you guys have asked, and I shall finally do what makes sense anyway. And I will list all of the different flower names as well as the greenery and things like that, so you have all of those. If by chance you're watching this video years later, because we have been doing these for so long, and that link takes you to something that's no longer there, I'm sorry. It happens. Things come and things go. It's just how life is. But as of today, if you're watching this as it goes live, all of the available flowers that are still in the shop will be listed down below. So check that out. All right, you guys, let's do the rest of this outro and we'll move along our lovely way, because it's actually a really nice fall day. So I kind of want to enjoy the outdoors until it gets back to, we had snow last week. So I would like to enjoy a little bit of a warmer fall day. To find out about the 150 style Sola wood flowers along with craft supplies and greenery, go to ohyourlovely.com. But before you do, I can't believe I said that 3 different times in 3 different ways. I have a code for you. Use the code YouTube30 to get 30% off your first order. You deserve it for going through that. All right, you guys. I'm Stephanie from Oh You're Lovely, and I will see you next week for another tutorial right here on YouTube. Bye, guys.